The other day, my closest buddy asked if I would stand by his side at his wedding. I hesitated for a while since I'm not a fan of those traditional shenanigans like bride ransoms and silly games. But he assured me that all I needed to do was to make sure he didn't overindulge at the reception to avoid any cringe-worthy moments with his soon-to-be wife's family. I finally said yes. As a thank you, I ended up paying with an absolutely enchanting fellow witness named Lila. We spent the whole night at the same table, exchanging delightful banter. Later, we took a spin on the band's floor. Before the night was over, I snagged Lee's number, which led to moving nights out, several baits, a heartfelt proposal, a trip down the aisle followed by visits to the maternity ward. Not once but twice. Fast forward over 15 years, and here we are with two boys who aren't so little anymore. All these years, we've really been two peas in a pod. If someone had inquired about my vision of the perfect relationship, I would have cited the bond between my wife and me as an exemplar. This belief was perhaps my biggest misjudgment. I was immersed in the building trade, while Leah dedicated herself to a career in HR. I was immersed. Her passion for her work was evident, as she devoted countless hours to learning and improvement. I crafted various activities for our company's workforce and held occasional workshops. My admiration for Layla knew no bounds because she truly inspired our colleagues to approach their jobs with enthusiasm. In recent times, Layla had devised her own training module aimed at boosting work efficiency through enhanced team dynamics. Her expertise had gathered attention, prompting invitations from several other cities to host sessions. My sons and I were always supportive, encouraging her to undertake these essential journeys. Admittedly, our encounters became rare, but it felt wrong to CH Layla for the scant attention she could spare for us considering the exhaustive nature of her pursuits. Ironically, her next business trip coincided with her birthday. It was not her habit to let professional commitments slide, so she chose to delay her personal celebrations. This is how the scene in my memory unfolds. In my memory, the suitcase perched by the doorway, Leah meticulously adjusting the metal fingers of her watch, her passport and tickets securely tucked away in her purse alongside her phone and charger. With a quick turn, she glanced back at us. "All right, don't miss me too much. I'll be back before you know it." With that, she shut the door with a definitive thud and the kids, and I hurriedly began packing our bags. You see, a couple of days prior we'd hatched a plan to throw a surprise birthday bash for our mom and catch her completely off guard. The morning after Layla's departure dawned brightly. As we woke, we dialed Lee's number, wished her a happy birthday, mastering our poker faces over the phone, and then zipped off to the airport. After a taxing few hours spent traversing the skies, we touched down in the quaint town, where she was celebrating. Stepping into the crisp air, we flagged Dana cab and directed the driver to take us to the hotel where my beloved was. The hotel. Staying. The taxi driver, by the way, looked at us rather angrily. He said there is no hotel with that name in this city. I snapped back. Well, there must be. My wife is staying there. She told me about this hotel herself. My wife described it as an unusual, small, secluded place. Guys, I'm telling you, I've been driving a taxi in this city for 17 years, and I've never heard of such a place. Do you have an exact address? If not, then you're out of luck. Frustrated, we got out of the car and headed to the airport. Even there, no one had the slightest idea. I was furious. Furious? Why does anyone know this hotel? I was fuming. My wife arrived just yesterday and checked into the hotel, and they reply, "Listen, man, there's no way your wife boarded a flight yesterday, because planes depart from your city only every third day. Did you check the timetable when buying tickets? Or could it be she flew out from some other location?" The ticket agent inquired. "No," I countered. "Not from any other city. There must be some kind of mix-up." Then he explained that the return flight would be when the plane I took lands in about an hour, and after that, the next available one isn't until 3 days later. So I turned my kids, feeling disappointed. Guess the surprise isn't happening. I need to call Grandma. So there I was, standing in an unfamiliar airport with my 2 children, attempting to get in touch with my wife. But she wouldn't pick up the phone. Moments later, I receive a text from her. "Busy?" Really? I know where she's busy. But where? Why? And I managed to keep my cool. I was on the brink of losing my marbles. Though I managed to keep my cool. It looks like we're in a quandary. We need to pick up the tickets as soon as possible. Otherwise, we'll be stuck here for 3 days. We went to buy tickets. The way back was passed in silence. The guys were old enough to realize that something suspicious was going on. Still, I didn't dare jump to conclusions. I clung to the hope that there was a rational explanation for all this. By the time we got home, it was quite late. All right, I declared, let's eat and hit the sack. Not a peep to Mom about this botch trip. Let's keep it under wraps. The boys trenched off to bed, but sleep eluded me. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was Layla. Hey there. I couldn't ring you earlier. Are you already in bed? Hey! Yeah, the kids are out like a light, but I'm still up. I replied. Listen, can you remind me where you're at in the city, like I told you? She replied. Got it. I was thinking of sending you some flowers, but I couldn't recall the address. I fibbed, hoping to mask the turmoil brewing inside me. I gave them the name of the hotel, but they said they had no idea and couldn't find the address. Oh, come on, what flowers? My return flight is tomorrow evening. Where should I keep the bouquet? Don't worry. I'll come by and personally wish you all the best. Well, I'm going to bed. Good night. Yes, let's wait for you. Good night. When I hung up, I was shaking all over. The truth has come out. At least I should have checked the flight schedule. Keeping a straight face, I couldn't stand such obvious fabrications. My wife returned the next evening. We wished her a happy birthday and had a family dinner. Layla acted as if nothing unusual had happened. I asked her some leading questions about her recent trip, and she answered each of them. She lied without the slightest embarrassment. It was a moment when I reached the limit of my abilities. Of course, I've had enough, Layla. The truth has come out. The guys and I planned a surprise for you and arrived in the city only yesterday. It turns out that those flights and hotels you mentioned are non-existent. Moreover, I remembered a few details. Indeed, there are too many contradictions in your stories about past work trips. Come on, tell me the truth already. Lowering her eyes, Layla began to mumble apologies. Please forgive me. You are the best father for our children, the most devoted husband you could ever dream of. That's all I have. I never intended to hurt you. I never imagined that you would find out the truth. I never meant to hurt you. I've been with this fellow for 2 years. It was nothing serious. That's the end of it. I almost walked out on him, but he threatened to expose everything to you. Please forgive me. Leave. I demanded. But where do you think I'm going in the middle of the night? What about the children? I argued. They should have been considered before. Head back to your lover. Though remember, he has his own family. I can't. I have responsibilities too. I replied, leave anyway. I insisted, and so she did. The kids chose to stay with me. They felt deeply wronged by their mother's actions, seeing it as a betrayal not just to me, but to our entire clan. I acknowledge that kids need their mom, yet I can't compel them to see her. I trust that time will eventually sort this mess. But for now, things remain painfully complex.